And for that reason, I do believe he was not natural at that time to allow him to get by and function as a human being. When you're 4.4% year-round natural, how could you function? How could you exist? Coach Greg, and in today's video, Tristyn Lee, he opens up. He shows us his physique. He has a pose down with Larry Wheels. And listen, the guy's suffering, in my opinion, from body dysmorphia. He was once 4.4% body fat, starving himself on 1,800 calories, and now he feels a lot better. Also in the past, I do believe he was on PEDs. I don't think he was natural, and he did so because of the pressure of social media to be shredded, to look amazing. Since that time, I do believe he's now 100% natural, and he feels a million times better.
I mean, when I was at my leanest, when I get down to like 4.4.
And so Tristyn Lee at his leanest, 4.4%. And that was verified by Skinfold, Calipers, DEXA scan, hydrostatic weighing, Coach Greg's laser eyes. Guy was clearly under 5% body fat. And that wasn't just for a competition, that was him year round. And so imagine the suffering, how difficult that was. Eating 1,800 calories a day, doing 20,000 steps, 2-a-day training. Impossible to maintain. And for that reason, I do believe he was not natural at that time to allow him to get by and function as a human being. When you're 4.4% year-round natural, how could you function? How could you exist? It's literally a nightmare. Even with PDs, not many people on this earth can function at 4 to 5% body fat year-round.
You don't realize how bad you feel until you get out of that, constant habit of just going, running.
And so you stop using PDs, you go natural, you eat a bit more, you eat in a calorie surplus, and you feel millions of times better. And so if you're struggling like Tristyn Lee, perhaps with body dysmorphia, you don't feel lean enough, you're starving, stop. You don't realize just how much you're suffering until you get out of that. Eat in a calorie surplus, get back to normal, go get counseling, professional help, as we don't want anyone to go through what Tristyn Lee had to go through to stay 4.4% body fat.
Like, I'm in the same boat now, being on TRT. People always ask me, so how do you feel versus being on full blast? And I always have the same answer, 10 times better.
And Larry Wheels himself says he feels 10 times better in going from blasting 2,000 plus milligrams a test, you name it, to now just being on HRT, 175 milligrams. And so listen to these guys, take their words for it. They both feel way better now that they're not taking whatever, and they're at healthier body fat percentages for them. And Tristyn Lee, he's wearing a hoodie, black hoodie. If you're interested in one of those, why not check out HTLT, Harder Than Last Time clothing. We have hoodies. The material, absolutely amazing. You will not believe the quality of this clothing. Designed by a former Lululemon designer, the clothes are absolutely designed to fit to perfection. And so if you want, use code Greg. And if you want to get the hoodie, the shirt, jogging pants, shorts, click the link in the description. 10% off, use code Greg.
When I was getting super shredded, caffeine is the king, for appetite suppressant.
And so when Tristyn Lee was trying to stay super shredded, he was abusing caffeine. Guys 150 pounds or less was taking 700-800 milligrams. And what it did is it killed his appetite, but it made you feel unwell. It hindered his sleep. The guy was sleeping 4 hours a night.
How many layers do you have under there?
And Tristyn Lee peels back the layers. And listen, sometimes people, they don't want to go in the gym and train in a tank top. They're simply not comfortable with either their size or their condition. Some people refer to it as bigorexia. They feel smaller than they are, but it's simply body dysmorphia. You don't like the reflection of yourself that you see in the mirror. And for me, I believe Tristyn Lee sees a guy who has more body fat than he really has. He says he's 10+%, that he's not really that lean. But look at the guy. And look at the detail as Tristyn Lee does his lat pull downs. He's got strided delts, back, all the bumps, crevices. Guy, he's shredded. And so Larry asks, well, what was your diet like when you were 4.4% body fat?
Back then I was at 1,700, 1,800 calories. Okay. But then now I'm eating 3,000.
And so back then, only 1,700 to 1,800 calories, and now closer to 3,000. And is it full of junk, binge eating, and so on? No, he eats the same diet, he just eats more of it. And so when you know you have the proper diet, well, when you can follow it for the rest of your life. If you're on a bulk, you eat more of the foods you like. If you're on a cut, you eat less of it. Does that not sound like the diet you should follow? Or do you think it's better, oh, I'm on a cut, chicken, broccoli, and rice, and I'm on a bulk, Wendy's? What make more sense? A diet that you always love, or one that you only love in the off season?
I'd say, yeah, about 10-11% body fat.
And so Larry Wheels says, yeah, I think you're probably around 10 or 11% body fat. But what Larry doesn't see is the guy's legs. You can't accurately judge someone's body fat as they're wearing a tank top covering their legs. You can guess, you can speculate, but what he doesn't see is how lean Tristyn Lee's hamstrings are. Far leaner than Larry Wheels. And so you're judging him thinking, well, he's not that lean. And when you're natural, the muscles are just not gonna jump out at you. Perhaps you're sitting in a t-shirt, you don't even look like you work out. You strip down, you pump up and flex, bam, you look incredible. And if you compare body fat levels, look at Jesse James, who's clearly shredded, and Joe Lindner, Joe Aesthetics. These guys are shredded. Yet with a tank top on, walking around, they don't look as lean as they are. And so please, don't compare yourself to guys you see on social media. When they're all pumped up, flexing, under the best lighting, they're gonna look absolutely incredible. And remember, 15% body fat, that is healthy. Any number below that, unless you're a competitive athlete and need it, well, you're just doing it for aesthetics. And Tristyn Lee clearly defined abdominals, the six-pack, obliques, biceps, shredded everywhere. And back lat spread, look at Tristyn Lee's hamstrings. They look like piano chords. Guys, shredded. You often will even see IFBB pros with less conditioned hamstrings than this. And so when judging body fat, you have to look front to back, top to bottom. Tristyn Lee overall, guys, single-digit body fat. And in the most muscular, look at the detail in Tristyn Lee's chest. Guy looks absolutely phenomenal. This to me represents what an extremely lean, natural bodybuilder would look like. And remember, this is not what a peak week, diuretics, a spray tan, oil. This is just the end of the workout going through a flex. And when we do bodybuilding competitions, trust me, we manipulate everything. Our food intake, sodium, water, everything. We're trying to look absolutely shredded. And so when you see Tristyn Lee posing out of the blue like this and he's this lean, that's a guy with single-digit body fat. And Tristyn Lee absolutely excited, hoping Larry Wheels will coach him to a powerlifting meet. And for me, that is where he should go. Bodybuilding, it's not for everyone. You have to get absolutely shredded. It's not healthy both physically and mentally. And if you are suffering from lower testosterone, you're trying to get a boost, obviously eat more, go and see your doctor. But there are supplements that can help. 3Test and G-Test, both amazing supplements to boost your natural testosterone levels. The main ingredients in Tom Catalee, ashwagandha, Fedosia agressus, Tom Catalee, Ali's favorite, and in G-Test, even more things that you need to produce testosterone optimally. And these are not the testosterone boosters of old. Those, they hardly work. The testosterone boosters of today, they have been shown in clinical research to be highly effective. And so with powerlifting, you won't need to starve yourself. You won't need to go on a diet. You can get as strong as possible and have fun with it. I think that's the first place to start. And so hopefully next year we'll see Tristyn Lee in a powerlifting competition, perhaps one day battling it out in bodybuilding with Larry Wheels. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, ending it here. Remember, looking for any of the harder than last time supplements, click the link in the description, code Greg, 10% off. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm. And to subscribe, you have to press that button. That would be a huge favor to me if you could press that button right now. Subscribe to the channel, then watch one of those two bloops. And until next time, I am out.